How fast do the VOD appear on Twitch? Guess I can have to remove all the previous broadcasts. Since it seems like I had accidentally uploaded the music and I didn't want to spend the rest of my life getting emails about copyrighted materials and VOD muting and all that, so I just kind of removed them. But I haven't tried it streaming just yet with that setting, so I kind of want to test it out. YouTube is underscore Sashi. No, that's not me. At underscore. Because this shouldn't have any music, right? The YouTube stream. No, no music. Perfect. So those VODs are still available. Can we check? I guess I will check after the stream. Fuck it. It should be correctly set up where there's some music only during the stream on Twitch, but not on YouTube, because you can't have multiple audio tracks on YouTube for whatever reason. They haven't technology just isn't there. Just like this video game. I've been thinking that maybe like I should not fix this right now. Like these guys are still the issue. Yesterday I kind of fixed the meshes loading incorrectly, so we actually do get all the correct mesh here. Which like it is here. It's on the wrong side. So the position is wrong and the rotation is wrong for whatever reason. This is probably an issue with the exporter. We have the platform GOF, which should be this one. Yeah. So that's part of this. As far as I know, no. This one. That one is as correct is, but the things on the models are not correct. So there's something that's wrong with them, and I don't really know why. Because I take this world position and all that, and then use it throughout, and then like append to that to get the local transform. But so it should be like -9 plus whatever this is, -4. And -9 -4 is kind of 14. Maybe that should be -14, but then it's over there. So there's something wrong here. And I have a no, I don't have a suspicion. Because it's like kind of correct. Like the rotation is slightly off and the position is slightly off, I think. Yeah, so the middle should be around here, and the middle is, I mean, it's like a few meters to the left. But most of see. Wrong. This. No. This. It should be more like that. And then like 12 or is it 9? Maybe that's it. Why would that be it? Oh. Plus, I guess. But that's not it. And of course, like the middle is over there. Then of course this is a local position. Is it just this one? No, that's also not correct. That one should be reversed at least. Minus 22. I'm a bit stumped there. These values make no sense. This is also very loud. There we go. That's a bit better, I guess. Probably more like that. Or I could just lower the stream audio and listen to loud music myself. It's good to have it in a good volume because otherwise I modify my voice to be louder and all that. Yeah, I forgot. Social multimedia and all that. Now the thumbnail worked. Find my stream URL on YouTube. There we go. And now we have to figure out why is this awful? Because what it looks like right now is that because this looks correct, doesn't it? That stone is over there. No, it's not correct. The rotation is all wrong. How wrong is it? kind of wrong. I think this should be slightly modified. That? No, that's not. I mean, there's something wrong here. This is one of those weird things. Like, this specific prefab has some really annoying things going on. Where it's part of a very deep tree, which is rotated, and then it's rotated again and rotated again. So the said rotation when we get to our object is like minus 180, minus 165, so that's what, 345, minus 180, so it's 535 or something like that. It's a very large negative number, and then it's further rotated and then unrotated a little bit, and like there's something that's going wrong in those cases, but that same thing is not wrong on this one for whatever reason. And I mean, there are some very specific export. There's some very specific export in code for this prefab, where we flip all the things besides the. Why are we flipping them? Oh, yeah, these also have a negative x scale, that's why. So everything under the models is flipped in the x-axis. And I think that combination somehow makes my code very confused. And it's very hard to understand why. Because you start off with this transform. But I also kind of think that I should work on something else for a bit, because I'm like stuck in this. But will I get more stuck in the next thing, which would be shaders? Probably. Maybe. Perhaps. Okay, as far as I know, there it is. As far as I know, this is practice age, right? I'm pretty sure. I think it's this one, even. Does it have a set? Yeah, it does. It's very wide. The Z scale of 2. Wonder why that is. It's so hard to read this as well because like it's hard to know which one which because there's 2 of these asteroid 01. So yeah, I mean they are in order, I guess. So the first asteroid 01 should be this, and which has a transform of 14 minus 22 0. But that's like an aggregated value with this plus this, and then inverted to match Godot direction. Which should work in my mind. Like, that is a correct distance. Like minus 14. Let's reload this map. But it seems... Is it in the correct position but just the wrong rotation or something? I guess it could be. Yeah. Maybe. I mean, the origin is here. Which seems incorrect. Because that's 14. So the height, which is this axis, that should be correct. Minus 7. Yeah, so like... Oh yeah, the x-axis is this way, I guess. Minus 7 plus minus 15. It's very often this number. So like the numbers look correct. But I guess the rotation is incorrect. Let's try to make it manually. That's a rotation. It from this point it shouldn't have anything. It has 100 minus 180. That's applied here. That's a very odd way of writing minus 180. But nice. I wonder if there's a... I wonder if that's the issue. Oh yeah, of course. It should... Why does it have a rotation at all? Oh yeah, because we have previous rotations. I think that's actually correct because the way I do my um, when exporting, it's taking the world rotation out of this component, so it discards the previous rotations that we've had and then just uses the world rotation. So that, I think that's probably correct because it's, if we like add these together and then it will figure out that, oh, it's actually one minus 195. Kind of fun whenever you just mention game dev, you get some thing liking your posts. Easy farm. Yeah, I think that's correct. Yeah, that's okay. We now have a zero rotation. What should we give it? So we have models, which is minus 15 said. And then 90 minus 85. I think one or two of these has to be. I say they have to be flipped, but I mean this origin can't be correct, right? Like the position is like it's so tucked next to this. I'm really liking that way more. Like, sure, it might not be perfect, but I mean that's many times closer. But it doesn't make any sense because this is the aggregated value and that's the local value. I'm back a square backing one. Let's do the next one. Let's see if we can use the same, just like that, reversed. The aggregated value for whatever fucking reason. This should be like minus 15, that value and that value, and now it should be somewhat correct. It's really not. I guess I've forgotten something. Oh, it also has 92 here. Means minus 50. 92 minus 15 is very often 77. Same with you. I want to see, like, if I can you write math in here? You can. This one did not turn out correct. I mean, oh, the wrong ones. Feck. No, this position is all wrong. Minus 15 plus 5. So yeah, I'm not sure what I've done here. There's no rhyme or reason to this fucking thing though. Because this is like kind of where it is, but not quite. Like it should be way rotating a bit different. And a bit more to the right. Maybe that's just the rotation. Not that rotation. Be like 90s. Then like 6 or 7. And that is kind of correct. It's not perfect, like it's still an odd Z rotation here, as far as I can tell. I mean, it's off in such a weird way. Like, how do I even start solving this? And why does it work on other things? Because it's like half position, like minus 15 plus 5.7. That, like, this is the calculated value that's like correct, but this value, the x value, is completely off. Minus 9 plus minus 1.19, and it should be like 7-ish. Like, it's like one of them should be negative and one should be positive. And since I'm adding them, How is math done? Why is it so difficult? -7 plus -2 -9. Because what I'm theorizing is that if I take this value plus this value becomes -10, and then this is reversed, and then we get the position that I am exporting. But what I think is should be happening, like okay, a way to get to the correct value is to do no a way to correct value is if you take this minus plus and this as a positive number, we get 8.7, and then we invert that. That's the like properly, like this is the position, right? Somewhat. No, it's literally just this value. No, it's not even that. It's something else. It should be even more to the right. Shouldn't it? It's hard to tell. Like, is this... It should be more up. Way more up. I'm so lost with this one. Because there has to be like a deterministic way of exporting the unity level to get these values that matches with all of them. Like what I don't want to do is check, oh, is this negative or this exact asset or whatever. Like I already have these awful practices where I check specific assets, and like that's not how you should do things. Like it's a rabbit hole and a half. So yeah, I really would like this to be properly exported. But right now I don't even know how to get to the correct values because the values doesn't make sense. We have a similar issue down here though. Maybe this one's easier to solve. Because these should be like kind of attached to each other. Like they're not attached in that way, but like they're exactly next to each other. And as far as I can tell, this one is correct, right? Hard to tell without the isometric camera. We can't just switch here, right? I guess we can. That didn't work. Oh, I guess, yeah, never mind. I think it looks like correct enough, as far as I can tell. It's slightly to right here, which it is. And I'm trying to use the UI to show this. It's like exactly on the bottom, which is more or less where it is here, like this very edge here. So I'm pretty sure this one is correct, meaning that this one's incorrect. And it's very incorrect, actually. Do we need to do this still? Because what I can see here, this first mesh is incorrect. Or like the uppermost one. But not this one. Which is very strange. Is that correct? Yeah. Because like in the code I have when if it ends with _f, which it does, it's the prism asteroid barricade _f, it will go in and like rotate all of these meshes by 180 degrees. But it seems like it shouldn't do that on one of them. Maybe it's just incorrectly named _f from a billion years ago. I don't know. It's there's more issues with it. Wonder if this mesh is just fucked up in some way. The values look correct. Is this incorrectly imported or something? But that's the correct one, right? Yeah. That is then exported as Asteroid Barricade 02. Is that the same one? Looks like it. Yeah, so that is correct. But it's like, is it incorrectly rotated or something? Not that kind of incorrectly rotated, at least. Because it's just not off in one axis. Like, let's see if I can even fix this. Like, it's like this, that, one, that, and it looks like this in Unity. It's not perfect, of course, because I'm not a perfect human being at replicating these, but like it's off in so many different ways. I have no clue how to even start looking at this, because when these things happen, it's like the base, what's it called? Like the very foundation of how I'm doing this might be wrong. Which is weird, because it works on other maps. Like all of these up until Limbo is correct. So why would that be? And I think I'll just not do that for now. That is so like super annoying. I've been sitting with this for like 2 days now, and I managed to get some help yesterday from the author of the old shader, our dear graphics guy Rasmus, which or Krylar is his name online. So we actually kind of ported this old shader to use a PBR variant of it, which is super cool. Like it's not perfect, but let's see, it's like good enough. Oh yeah. Was this one right? Meaning that if we do add this shader to this, it looks not perfect, of course, but it has the like same rim light and whatnot as the planets do in the original. It's very difficult to get the same exact look. But we can try. It also has to do with what lighting the level has and all that. So and this, I've basically just dropped a direction light in here and hope for the best to get some light going. But I think that what we could do to rest a bit from the level generation is to make sure that this shader is applied to the things that should have it. Because I am exporting the shader values per mesh, as far as I know. At least we're getting this, the material. Maybe we need to do a better job of exporting that. But yeah, it's each of these of course have a material. But this material is made up out of this. I don't know what material means in Unity, because it doesn't seem to have like material, like I guess it's just a default set of these guys. Because they like diffuse. Of course you open LibreOffice to view this. Oh, it's a TGA file. Why is my Windows set to open TGA files in LibreOffice? Either way. So what I'm thinking is that we should create these materials and see if we can start giving them materials. We need to do some changes to the exporter where we check the material that's used. As far as I know, hope and dreams and all that, I'm pretty sure that we only have one material per mesh. Using multiple materials as you do, it wasn't really a thing back then. At least not for us. But yeah, right now this is just read as this, but I would like us to have one of these guys exported instead, meaning that we have to figure some things out. Like, I don't know how to make materials, really. Let's see, because let's try resource material. I think shader materials the thing that we want. Let's call this these. Part of me kind of wants to use the same names. Because like these all use a variant of planet blue. Let's open a level that I know works and start looking. Oh, yeah, this is an interesting-ish level. Because we have these that use various planet blue. I'm not sure. Because I'm pretty sure that this shader is more or less the same. It just use different parameters. And material is just a set of parameters. But we have those parameters in here. I mean in here. Like these guys. They are exported. So maybe we should make one of them. And for each planet, just set the values. Sure, you might. I don't know if there's any implications to either solution. Since this is all done in when the level is loading, I think it should be fine either way, because I'm pretty sure that there's some you can optimize some things when you have assets in Godot, because each time you upload something to a shader, it needs to like talk to the graphics card and whatnot. But first of all, our textures are so low resolution. Like even back then, this game was very easy to run. So maybe I will just save myself a lot of issues with this. We can try this. So we should only make planet blue. I'm pretty sure of that. Which is based on the OG default. It's going to be a bit more to see. Can we actually check these? Are these all using OG default? I mean, that's something else. Yeah, planet blue is all OG default. Planet dark is a bit more difficult. But yeah, in general, all these materials, I want to like converge them into only creating like the OG default shader ish, and then set their parameters. Because is this a bad idea? Like if we at some point get a level editor going, shouldn't be different. There is some memory overhead, because with this approach, every planet will have to create their own instance of this shader, And if we just used, if we just had material assets for each one of them, they could share. But since we're dealing with like 10 planets, I don't think it will make a difference. Like, it will cost a bit more video memory, but it's like, oh, 8 megabytes more. I think that would be fine. So I'll see if I can get this approach working. It's easier to go back to the other, I feel. So, okay. So maybe instead of we can still like export material name, but I'm pretty sure that Unity material. I'm pretty sure that we can get the shader it's using based from material. Yeah, exactly. You can get shader here. So what we'll do is this a good idea? Can we create a new material in runtime? Seems like we should be able to. Let's take a look. Because we need to create a material with a shader. Is that like a shader material? That's very not much how you know. I can't write and I can't speak. Because what I'm thinking is that we export what shader it is, and during the let's go to round planet for now because it's less code. Let's not do round planet actually, because I need to update this. I want this to also support multiple meshes, because this just kind of expects one mesh to exist. Let's do shape planet. So yeah, we have all the meshes here that we get. Let's take a look at the shape planet. So we have this guy. It uses this material, but the shader is OG default. So if we, let's see, mesh shader, if we do that, and then we have to just figure things out from here on out. Because this would be a bit... We have to like figure things out here. Because this JSON that we get, of course, has all these things. But these are different per shader. Meaning that we should probably make some sort of solution to make it easy to just like take this shader parameter as a JSON object, send that to a function alongside the new shader instance, and then it will kind of create this shader for you. How do GD scripts talk to each other? Because this is actually easier to do in... We can make it do it in C#. I don't like using like handler manager and all that, but I hate naming stuff. Factory. It's not creating them. This is the hardest part of coding, as per usual. Shader material. Godot JSON. Shader parameters. Is this everything that we need? We can return true false value, I guess. Something like that would be super nice from the like scripting point of view. Does this shady material what is this? Because surely this one has a name or something like that. make that make sense. What did I name it? Like OG default lower caps, right? I think that's a lot of parentheses. This is a bit but we have to like double check this, of course. These shader parameters, so they always like just one depth. So we should be able to just go through this and set the parameters, I hope. Variant. I mean, it is not an array per se. That is true, actually. Don't need this one then. It's a bit too hard coded for my taste, but let's see. So let's say gloss scale. not the thing. Guess it's specifically casting here. My idea was that maybe we could avoid doing this by just iterating, but we have to do these kinds of things. Do they have a color? Let's see. How do you create colors? RGBA 0 to 1, I hope. Yeah. Okay. How do you create this? I mean, they are public and all that, so I guess I could just kind of there's, let's see, it's glow color B as well, of course. There is not all of these are being used as well, which, so but I'll just like copy all of them. For now, because that can't be bad. Light factor. Okay, so now we have like all the scalars, I guess. Come on, microphone, you can do this. Because these should also be like proper resource paths. There should be like diffuse texture path. Just only diffuse. Then specular texture path. Gloss texture path. Glow texture path. This one's called glow map for whatever reason, but not the gloss. And then gloss texture path. Gloss mask texture path. Something like that, yeah. This could be a null value. I was thinking maybe I need a function for. Yeah. Maybe I should actually see what. What Copilot wrote for me. It is so like weird to see from a C++ perspective where you create a variable here and use it outside of what I see the scope being, but I guess this works in C sharp because I've seen it a few other times as well. That is string name. You go with a string. No need to make it too fancy. Yeah, what we need to do here is basically read this. And then we use white as the error value. I guess color value, because that's like a variant. You have to like If the property does not exist, this method returns null. Is get not the correct? I don't think it is. It's just like the bracket operator. No. Data. I'm lost in all the JSON variants in C#. JSON. I feel like this documentation could be expanded a bit more. It's like you have this show, like this example shows like, oh, you can do that, yeah, like you parse it, it knows if there's no error, you can get the data in this, and that just like checks, is this an array, and prints, oh, just print the array. Like you generally want to do more than just have an array. Like this, hasn't been a JSON file ever that looks like this. Like if you this like I don't like this example because it's such a contrived example of how to use JSONs. Because if you have this, why would you use a JSON to begin with? Like this is just a character array. Meaning that, I mean, you can just print it normally, I guess. Like it would just work. But yeah, I don't know. It feels like this could be a bit better. Especially there's nothing for C# here. Guess I'm not the only one. This how you're supposed to do it? Because I know I have a good JSON coming in, so you do this. But they're not necessarily like my JSON has multiple types in it. Kind of feel like this would be easier in GDScript. Unless I turn it back to... Can I turn it back to a... The reason why I went with Godot JSONs is that the JSON convert in like both system.json or whatever text JSON and Newtonsoft, they kind of want a deserialize into an object, from what I can tell. Because I kind of want this. I guess I could set up a type and convert to that. I wonder if I should just store an array instead of this. Or a string. I want to use a like generic to like cast this. No. Why don't they just have... I don't understand, because like you do this in Go in GDScript. Why don't they have this operator overloaded? Or in C#? It's a variant though. But the variant doesn't have it. You have shader parameters data diffuse. And they don't have the like. One would think that they would override this. Or is there operator overloading in C#? I'm completely blanking. Yeah, there is. So why can't they... And data doesn't have like any... I kind of get the feeling that there's a billion ways of doing JSON parsing, and they have like been like, it's for some reason it's kind of complicated when there's like 16 different ways of making it easy, which has made it complicated. I mean, I could just create a class for per shader. That is possible. But I don't see why I should need to. Because this probably isn't working as far as I know. Because it's just not to create a type, I need to create multiple types for like this guy, and have a color, and then convert those colors, because the RGBA doesn't match with the Godot colors, I think. You could try, I guess. Basically do have I don't have any static colors. Would this understand RGB? I hope it does. These should like always be set. Probably don't need this, but I don't think this we can have this as an error for now. What do you think about this? It hates it. Invalid access key shader. Oh yeah, they don't have the shader exported. That makes sense. I need to also write that part. I need to move these lookup tables to somewhere. because they're getting in the way. You're not allowed to do this. Oh yeah. More or less correct. Using default, call that. That's the only one for now. And that shader is under. Oh yeah, this Godot. I don't have to look. I just copy. Where do we check the material here? Export mesh.shader is that. DM Aurora should now go into this one. That's the wrong DM Aurora. DM0 unity.json. And this now has a shader. It's not using the lookup table that I so exquisitely created. export lookup tables. Shader lookup table contains Godot. Shader. There we go. So now the shader should be loaded. And we can actually try to see what happens when it at least makes an attempt to create this. If this is wrong, this is all. Yeah. We have to find the mesh this is in. This is a bit tricky because I can make this happen, but it will make us only ever have one mesh per thing here from if I think, but it should be fine. I think this is unsafe variant of this. Free assemble shader doesn't exist. Why? I wrote it. Is it the wrong types? I guess this isn't a let's turn this into a string. I'm not sure this will work. Paste dictionary. Let's go back to the JSON thing. Because this is, I think it needs to do the like stringify things. Yeah. JSON stringify. Let's try that. Is that the wrong name? Oh, it's the correct name. Is there a Godot string? Surely not. Oh, because I'm doing this as well. Public static void. Public static bool. I'm pretty sure I have, yeah, I've returned values in other ones. I would expect it to be the parameters that can't be found. Old. They have a shader, but it's very unlit somehow. Let me see what shader it is. I mean, there's a bunch of like shade is not supported. Oh, an empty shader. showing breakpoints? No. Oh yeah, the resource name is of course not a thing. That makes sense. Because we're creating a shader from nothing right now. So of course it doesn't have a resource name. Oh wait. Can we do something with this? Visual shader. Is that a thing? Oh yeah, that makes sense. It's the actual asset. So I'm pretty sure we have the correct shader. And it's hard to tell because a bunch of like these textures doesn't exist. But why? Oh yeah, I guess. This will actually run the client so we can take a look at this. Yeah, we need to. Of course, we won't do anything. Just need to do something here. Resource path, something that we can use. Because I guess the resource name kind of doesn't exist with how am creating it now. There we go. Now there's way more issues. Where we fail to load a bunch of stuff. So if we start moving over a few of these things from Unity, we might be able to see stuff. Not directly, straight into textures. As far as I know, Unity doesn't have a reference viewer. Only in scene, but I don't know if it's used by other things. So I don't know if I should just copy this, or if I should do like a new directory in here that's like platform GOF, and then put the textures in here. I think that I should be using the same path as in Unity, because otherwise I would have to do a lookup table for all of these, and that's not something I'm willing to do. Meaning that we should check out this, and then the material, and the OG default. And these shader parameters should be a like res assets textures plus that. Maybe they should be in a specific directory in case we expand this in the future. So they're not divided by planet, but let's just create a Unity in here. Unity. Now we start transferring files. Hey you, platform GOF diffuse version 2. You want to be in PGA file? Yes, it is. Because this would then be .tga. Oh, that's the file. Because some of them are PNGs and some of them are TGA, or yeah. Is it actually the TJ that's being used? It's not a... Can I figure out if it is a TJ file? I don't think I can, right? Why does textures use their file ending? Can you load without Guess you can't, right? Like it needs to know the file thing because that's the part of the name, I suppose. Why is this always something? Because I'm pretty sure that Unity doesn't know. I mean, Unity knows, but I don't think. I'm not sure I can know. Because I just get the texture here, but that texture is his name. Texture 2D, right? This doesn't help. It's probably a way of using the format to figure it out, but it would be nice if I can just, ask. But I don't know if you can get like asset paths or the because I don't know if it's being stripped during the import process. If we click this, is there anything that can tell us from here? Let's use the import settings. The thing I want to avoid is a like putting every file in here into a dictionary to know whether they are PNG or TGA. There's a few of them. I guess I could do a file search, or just like this should be a file, you know? I could write a function that looks at the file and returns a name. Saying get texture resource path texture name. It's basically that, yes. But file extension. Working directory. Assets. Textures. Texture name. Something like that. Is it like system get working directory? C# get working directory. Get current directory. System IO directory get current directory. Perfect. Yes. Done. Oh, never mind. Show an explorer. Over the gear assets, resources, textures. I guess I can't find the file because I don't know the file extension. C# find filing directory. File. texture file dot contains texture name, and texture file contains, it has a meta, right? Yeah. Dot meta is false. That should be the file we're looking for. It's not exactly the save. Okay, time for spam. .tj, okay. So we don't need this. There we go. It's a bit of a it's not super good. We could do some lazy stuff here and only look for it, like, I mean, it's so fast to export, but you could do something lazy where you like store the each file's file extension if you really want to speed things up, but like I don't care about speed right now, if ever. My computer is good enough for this. Wrong window. But yeah, maybe I should also use this. Here, right? Yeah. I guess we should use this on all of them. Guess it's a warning for now. That should now actually be up to date. There we go. Cool. Let's keep on trucking. Should I just make my life very, 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 very easy at the cost of potentially some unused textures? I think I will. I'm gonna do it. Only meta files. Oh, there's 2 JPEGs, I guess. Do I know? It look like I know what a JPEG is. Like the amount of textures we have in the old Orbital gear is like whatever. Let's go. Okay. Does this actually look... I mean, it's not correct because the lighting of the level is completely different. Like, you will never get something that is exactly the same. Like, that's not going to happen, but I hope that we can get somewhere close. It seems like these values are handled well. You can't see the textures, right? Instance shader parameter. Am I just not doing that correctly? The glow mask is incorrect. USB the black one. Why is that not loaded? Black PNG. Huh. Although, does it look good if I add that? I don't think. Doesn't seem like it accepts that. It is not a proper. Might be down to the. What was it? Glow mask. I'm not sure if it's even used. A glow mask. It's actually used, so this would make some sort of difference. But why can't it? Why isn't it set? But hey, they at least have a material. That's something. Let's see if the other things also work. We'll do a full export. It should take a bit longer. Actually had a noticeable effect on the time it takes to export. So yeah, I think that we could actually make use of that, speeding that, because every time we start doing like file access, that's when things get really bad. They seem very not colored. Which level is this? DM16. Should learn this by now. Because they, in the original, they have more of a color. Once again, the glow map fails to set, so there's something wrong with that. I actually don't know where this color comes from. Why do they have a color? None of these have colors. What we could do though is reduce a bit of spam here. Maybe it's light that's too strong or something, so they become white, but they don't have even a tendency to have color for whatever reason. But I also don't know what this is all about, but it's something. I think the thing I want to succeed with is having these things actually getting the correct shaders and correct shader values and all that. Like if that works, if the shader is wrong, like that's another issue. This seems to be very bright. Because I just kind of have to figure out how to set these values and figure out, am I doing things correctly? Because it could be like we need to do this thing rather than find like doing other things, like this material override here. Like I don't know which one to use and all that, so it's more a case of fixing that than looking actually correct. But yeah, I think I did get somewhere with this today, but I'll continue off stream. It's enough for today. 2.5 hours is a bit short, but don't want to overwork here. That would be horrible. Yeah, I'll be off and doing some stuff and watching other streams and all that, so see you around.